Hello and welcome to anyone and everyone who's decided to watch this video. Today I am going to be rambling on about the free Deluxe class Marvel Legends figures based on the newest Marvel movie, Captain America Brave New World, a movie that I have been waiting for, a movie that took them far too long to make. Starring Sam Wilson, Captain America, era of Captain America I love. I'm glad that is now back thanks to this movie. I really like the promotion of turning Sam into Captain America. I think it works really well. I really like it. That's why I bought these figures, because Marvel Legends, of all the lines I collect, is the one I do the best at getting the characters I really like, and that's about it. And I really like Sam Cap, so I got this and these other guys because I am excited. And it annoys me that it took this long. It's been a decade since we've gotten a Captain America movie, guys. A literal decade. My goodness, this should have been a Phase 4 movie. Now it's a Phase 5 movie. I'm not one of those people who says the MCU is broken. I think it's still pretty good, but at the same time, it's definitely a lot more disjointed than it used to be. And yeah, we have finally gotten some legitimately bad films with Multiverse of Madness. I know some people like that one, but I don't. And Love and Thunder, which I also know some people like, but I don't. But I also enjoyed the Marvels, and a lot of people didn't like that. And Eternals was great. If you think Eternals is bad, you are just wrong. You're not allowed to have opinions. Yes, you are. But you're still wrong about Eternals. That movie is great. But Captain America, here we are. Here he is. And we are looking at this figure. He looks very nice. He is a Captain America. So, of course, he looks good. Captain America has always been a great design. That said, I am a little mixed about this costume, given how we had this beautiful comic accurate version of the costume from the show, which people say is terrible. I don't get why. That's why they changed it, because people called this costume terrible, and I'm like, what the frick are you talking about? The only thing weird about this one to me is the shoulder pads. But although I think this costume is beautiful, this costume is not bad, and I think this is the better figure. Just saying it. This figure has been upgraded in every way except for the shield. I mean, I do like the colors better on this shield. I think it's painted better. It's got a much darker tone to go with the darker tones of this figure, but this one has the straps so it can go on the arm like a regular shield, whereas this one goes back to that Marvel Legends hook, peg, hinge thing that does allow you to put the shield on the back, which is a thing various Captain Americas do. But I don't care about displaying them with the shield on the back. And hang on. That is far too tight. I want them holding it on the arm, and with this clip, it has to go around the wrist, which doesn't look right. The shield is just too low on the arm because they're not wearing it properly, but it's the only way they can wear it. I do not like that. The shield is a downgrade. I do think everything else about this figure, the sculpting, the quality, the joints don't have that stickiness Legends figures can sometimes have. Everything feels really good here. He stands really well. And I had to get this figure twice because the first time I got him, one of his feet was broken right when I opened the package. So even though I like this design, I've always been very mixed on this figure. So I am glad that we got a much better figure of this character that I really like, even if I'm a little iffy on the decision to go all blue with his costume. But yeah, the shield annoys me, but I do think the figure is overall an upgrade. And another thing, the shield and Red Wing, those are the two downgrades. Not because this Red Wing is bad, It's a repaint of the one that came with the show one, and I do think it's a better looking Red Wing. But this Red Wing had like the little armature so you could have it flying next to Cap and stuff. Yeah, this one doesn't come with that at all. Has a port for it, but you can't really do anything with it. So Red Wing, useless. A waste of plastic. I don't get why he's here. But overall, I do still think this is the better figure. Lesser shield, useless Red Wing, but I do think just as a figure to mess around with and play, put in all your various poses and getting your photographies and stuffs, or, you know, just playing with toys like you're supposed to. I do think we have gotten a better version of Sam Cap right here. The best version of Sam Cap, maybe. I don't have the comic book versions because the first release didn't have wings and the second release had wings that I didn't like the look of, so I didn't get it. But yeah, and of course you can remove this backpack and give him the one with the wings, the big wings, and yes, his shield can also go into here. And the wings are a massive improvement as well from the TV show figure. Just here you can see there are almost a full inch each bigger than the previous wings. So definitely nice, and they've got free hinges here for movement as opposed to the two of the previous one. And it's interesting how you can tell from the sculpting detail that his wings are exactly the same. Like they're a new sculpt, but like basically all the details in them are the same. Like they're painted a little differently though. Like there's blue here, whereas this has like the blue stripes, and then the other part is still silver. But like it seems it's the same set of wings just on a new costume, so that'll be interesting to see what happens in the movie. This video, there's no way I'm not uploading this video until after the movie's already been released, so we'll probably have all seen it. I'll definitely have seen it. But like, yeah. And also, he does come with a alternate head of his flight mask, and I do love this flight mask. That is the coolest thing about this costume to me, is I think it was a fun idea to give him a flight mask, and as you can see, it's got the traditional Captain America wings just like embedded into the side, like every MCU Cap costume has had. It has a little chevron that invokes the style of the Steve Rogers A, and you can see behind the visor, they got little details for his eyes in there, and that's pretty nice. And he's got like the little breather mask that like a pilot would, and that's pretty cool. I do quite like this figure. He's just a very fun figure to mess around with. One of my favorite Marvel Legends I own, and you can move the wings in a bunch of different ways. The only thing is you really still can't get them to like properly form around him like a barricade like he did in the show, or they show him doing in the trailer for the movie. Like this is the best probably you can get it like this, which means his face is still fully exposed, unless you can kind of get the shield in there like that. I don't know. That is probably the best you can do. So he can't do like every pose, but like what figure can? So I do still think he's a pretty fun guy to mess around with. Like this is definitely a figure I am happy to have bought. A nice upgrade to one of my favorite Marvel characters in my Marvel Legends collection. And maybe just one of my favorite Marvel Legends period now. I really like this Cap. Even with his flaws, he has definitely pleased me. And just gets me excited to see the movie. This movie should have came out years ago, but we have it now. And yeah, Cap, good figure, fun figure. We shall put him in the back now. And as Falcon is now Captain America, we got a new Falcon. And I'm really happy to see that he is in this movie, the new Falcon. I know he was in the show, but still, it's nice that he's back for the movie because I love the superhero trope of sidekicks. I think it's a fun trope. I don't think every hero needs them, but I still like sidekicks, and Captain America is one of the few Marvel characters that gets to have sidekicks, mainly because he predates Stan Lee, and apparently Stan Lee didn't like the sidekick trope, which is why none of his characters have them. But they keep trying to give them to Spider-Man, and like Spider-Man is the worst character to give sidekicks to. You could tell I'm not going to be getting that Spider-Boy figure. Just saying. Apparently his book is good, but Peter should not have a sidekick. And yeah, so the new Falcon, he also looks really nice with his greens and browns, very military-like. And he is not a genetically altered bird man like in the comics. He is just wearing the old Sam Wilson suit that he got in the show, but he repainted it. Maybe he rebuilt some parts because the helmet's definitely different. I don't have any figures of Sam as Falcon from the MCU to compare to him, so I don't know the differences, if there are a lot of them. He's got a pretty cool looking belt. It's got a little slope in there to give it some personality. He's got some pouches on the sides. He's got the little red triangles on his hips. He's got actually a couple touches of red in different places. I like the big green boots, like this metallic-y green that's on him is very nice. Kind of has a Halo vibe, like a Halo Marine vibe, if you know what the Marines in Halo look like. It's definitely how it feels like to me. He's not as smooth as Cap is in terms of the joints, but he's definitely not a gummy legend figure. Like, you're not going to need to do any working in of his joints at all. He definitely does move really well. And that's nice, because part of me was worried this figure wasn't going to be that good. I was worried he was going to be the weakling of the batch. But no, I think he's about as good as Cap, just in different ways. And, like, maybe the character isn't as big as Cap or whatever. Like, not... Like, there's not as much hype to him as Cap, but I'm just really glad we got him. Because, like, even I didn't even think about the fact that he would probably show up in the MCU if Sam got the shield. I'm glad. I was just glad. Having trouble to talk, as always. I was just glad that Sam was the one who got the shield at the end of Endgame, because I think it was the correct decision to move on from just skip Bucky entirely and go straight to Sam. I think that was the right move. And yeah, and here's his backpack as well, all folded up, and it's got the little red on the back here as well. And is this supposed to be Red Wing, like, folded up into the backpack? I don't think so, because he also comes with a Red Wing, the original Red Wing from the MCU, because Red Wing is a machine, is a little drone in the movies instead of a physical bird. So yeah, him and Sam both got Red Wings that can do nothing. But I mean, it's cool. That's the wrong Red Wing. But I mean, it's nice to have it. It's nice to have it. I don't know if any of the previous Falcons came with this Red Wing, so it's nice to have this little piece. If you really needed it, this could have been left out, and I wouldn't have even realized it was missing, but it's cool to see that we got it. And he also comes with some fisted hands that I am probably never going to use. I'll probably just keep him with these splayed out hands. And he too comes with a closed up visor head sculpt, and let's look at the opened one. as well, just so we can see his face. And yeah, these both have the big yellow visors, so you can see his eyes in there. Very nice, very nice. And we will swap this out and get him ready to fly and bring in his big old wings. And again, I don't know if these are new wings or old wings, because I mean, in canon, these are the wings Sam was using when he was Falcon. But I don't know if they resculpted them for this figure or if they just made new ones all from the ground up. And if we compare them to the Cap wings, they are like a centimeter shorter, like each wing, as opposed to this Cap compared to show Cap, where it was like an inch of a difference. So like Falcon still has the smaller wings, but like not by that much. And he's got these handles on the wings that you can slip these more open hands around, but it doesn't look like he's actively holding the things or not. Like it doesn't really look like he's grabbing on to the, hang on. You can definitely get him in there. Sometimes the peg that keeps the backpack on rotates instead of the wings. Like you can definitely slide it in there, so it kind of looks like he's reaching around it, but it doesn't look like he's fully grabbing on or anything. But like if you want him reaching for the wings, it looks all right. It does the job of getting him into some cool poses. I think this figure works really well. He'd be a fine figure on his own, but side by side with Cap, that's what makes him perfect. And he doesn't have free joints like Cap, though. He only has the two, which is one of the things that makes me think that maybe these wings are reused. But I still think it works pretty well. I like both of the figures. I like both of these winged men. I think they are both really good toys on their own, but together as a team, Captain America and Falcon, that's what makes them like really stand out, makes them really, really cool to have together. So I do like Cap a little bit more, but I do think Falcon is just as good, and that makes me happy to have the two of them together united. And then we got this guy, the Red Hulk, the villain of the movie, Hulk Solo himself. And this is an interesting figure to have. I'm glad I finally have a Red Hulk. I missed out on the Target one. And apparently, because the only Hulk I own, let's just do the size comparison right now, is the 80th anniversary of Marvel first appearance of Wolverine version of the Hulk. So that's the only green Hulk I own. But apparently the torso for this is reused from like the Endgame Hulk. But then like the arms and legs are new because they got that pinless tech. And of course they've got the Red Hulk heads. I don't know how true that is because I don't have an Endgame Hulk to compare him to. But I am actually really happy that I have different molds for my Red Hulk and my Green Hulk, because I can combine comic book and MCU figures all day. And it's kind of cool having them being unique, and Red Hulk is just going to beat the heck out of Green Hulk while I talk. Or don't talk. Dang it, Ross. Dang it. You just ruined everything, Ross. You ruined everything. Anyway. So, I do think the figure is pretty fun. He feels pretty nice. My biggest problem with him is his knees. Like, they're double jointed, but it's really hard to get that top joint to move. Like, you really gotta, you basically have to like grab the like knee. You have to like stop the top joint from moving, and even then, like it's having a hard time doing it. But like, do you really need it? I mean, I guess his knee bends enough. Like that's the biggest problem with him is I don't think his knees work perfectly, and his elbows work well, but like they don't look completely great. Like they don't look the best. And I do still like the figure. Like he's a big chunky Hulk toy. He's a nice bulky figure to mess around with. And ultimately, as much as I like this Hulk mold, and I definitely would have been okay with just having this as my Red Hulk, because there was a Red Hulk release of this mold. I just never picked it up. I think I'm happy having this as my Red Hulk. That said, there is one big controversy with this figure, and it's the face. People want it to look more Harrison Ford-like, and I mean, I see the Harrison Ford-ness in him. I see it enough, but I get it. He's semi-cartoony because he's a Hulk. Of course, he was never going to look 100% like Harrison Ford. Movie Hulk doesn't look 100% like Mark Ruffalo, like the Green Hulk. But like this head, I think looks really good. He does have a second head where he looks like this. Hang on, it's not going on that well. Where he's like, and this one feels even more Harrison Fordy to me, but this one's kind of weird. I don't really get the expression. It's like, look at me, I'm big, I'm red, I got a fuzzy chest. Look at me. I definitely prefer the screaming face, the Hulk rage face here. So that is definitely how I'm going to keep him. And he also has some splayed out hands for if you need him to be doing that. He's got them for each of his hands. You know, he's just another big, bulky Marvel Legends figure. He's got all the movements and stuff. He's just a nice chunka figure. Like, there's nothing that special about him. He's standing on one foot right now, doing a little weirdo pose. You know, he can balance himself. He's as satisfying as any other big, chunky Marvel Legend figure is. And I'm liking him. And if you want an MCU Red Hulk, I suggest you get it, because this might be the only one we get, because I don't know if Red Hulk's making it out of this movie. I don't know if he's going to be in any future MCU projects. That's all I'm saying. Maybe I'm wrong. I mean, the movie will be out by the time I upload this, so who knows? Who knows? But yeah, that's the free figures. And just to bring in more size comparisons, let's bring in She-Hulk, because who wouldn't have this figure? The greatest Marvel Legend of last year, maybe the greatest Marvel Legend of all time. Bring her in for a size comparison, and we'll also bring in a US agent, just because I still keep them around here. And yeah, that's just some more extra size comparisons right there for you. And yeah, definitely I am pleased with all these figures. I like Sam and Falcon a little bit more than Red Hulk, but Red Hulk is definitely fun on his own. I've definitely been having fun with all three of these guys, messing around with them. The most satisfied I have been in a while with Marvel Legends, and that says a lot, because, I mean, the last video for Marvel Legends I did was on the Hulkbuster, and that figure was also pretty great. So it says a lot that I have been having just as much, if not quite a bit more, fun with these figures. But I'd probably rank them as like Sam, Cap as the best, Falcon is second, and Red Hulk is the least, but still pretty incredible. So that's it. I've definitely been rambling on enough. So thank you all for watching. See you guys around. Hello, everyone. It's the Merc with the Mouth Deadpool telling y'all to subscribe to the channel for all the fun videos it's got. What, you want to hear me do a catchphrase? Chimichangas, chimichangas. You know, I don't actually like chimichangas as food. I just like saying the word. What am I doing here again? Oh, yeah, subscribe!